Hey guys, welcome back to Fort Mort. I've got a super surprise for you today. We are talking about this guy, how to mod him fives. A very vital part of the 501st, a very vital part of the Shock T. There's great character, many ways to mod him. There's a lot of stuff that we can do with this character. I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm trying to, but I'll tell you guys right now, I got a special guest from up here at that special platform that I will not be said on YouTube. But today I've got a special guest. We're going to talk about fives with the master himself, the bummiest of mud in the mud and the bummiest. We've got MuddBum. MuddBum, how are you, man?
Doing great, Fort. Great to be here. Super happy to be part and share my thoughts on one of the most versatile characters in this game, in my opinion.
I would just like to point out this is our 77th take because I can't get anything working today, and he's been a champ sitting here waiting it out. I've got 7 people sitting in my Discord right now, silently being quiet because they're gentlemen. But let's talk about how to mod fives. What's so great about fives? I'm gonna let you run away with it. Let's go. Teach me.
Of course. So the first thing that I'm going to say about fives is there is no wrong way to mod him. There's just a wrong way to use him. And what I mean by that is there are an incredible amount of ways that you can mod fives, and you can tailor him to be whatever you want him to be and serve whatever purpose you want him to be. And this is primarily
loaded.
Oh my god.
Press down a little bit, baby.
I'll come back over here
there
so that way I'm not exploding anymore. But I'm explosive, the whole MuddBum thing. Anyways, keeping it clean. Don't want to get too into detail. But this character, he's always... I feel like he is the guy I change the mods on the most in my roster. And it's because every time I either do a Grand Arena or a territory battle or a territory war or anything, Conquest, I change my mods on him. And I make him totally different than what he's supposed to be.
So in a regular environment, you figure you're going to start with clone troopers, then you're going to immediately probably move to Shock T before you can actually get viability and get gas or any other team moving upward. So I'm thinking of looking at him from a clone aspect to a Shock T. I'm thinking somewhere middle ground. How would you deal with him under a Shock T team?
So for a Shock T team, I mean, ultimately it comes down to like his sacrifice and sharing the stats with your clones and your buddies. That's really the big thing you want. Primarily what's going to help, speed is always a winner. So if you're fighting other Shock T teams or other teams that are going to kill someone other than the fives, that speed is going to be a huge amount that you gain for everybody on your squad that they just get, and they just keep firing, and it becomes just a living nightmare. But the other thing you need on fives is you want to make them survivable as well. I like to do this with defense mods. I put some defense sets on him typically. And I like to bias him in the direction of protection as well, as opposed to health. This is primarily in case you come across a Malik or something like that. It just makes it a little harder to get rid of him and deal with him. Otherwise, the final stat that you really want to care about is offense. So if you can afford to get any offense on there, it doesn't hurt to get your clones to hit just a little bit harder. But the big 3 are going to be speed, protection, defense. Those are going to be your big 3 that you want on a standard clones team build.
Speed on fives. That's an interesting play that you're going with that. Why do you say that?
So what I have found is when I run speed on fives, I get to... It's just a universal stat that's good to have that will share for all of your team members. Now, this is kind of counterintuitive because, fives gains a bunch of turn meter when other people are attacked that are not him. But him being fast isn't detrimental. He'll take more turns, and if you put the turret on him from ARC Trooper or something like that, he's just going to be going off even more and just getting that turret to fire. So it doesn't hurt to just have him going and getting that extra free damage, but the speed shared on all the clones after the fact is really what you're looking for. It even helps with things like the Cranker raid if you were doing Cranker, where your main goal is to basically have Rex be as fast as possible and just get those Annihilates off when you can. And if you can share and give even more speed after the fact, he will likely, he will go 2 times before the Cranker takes a turn. Even with the changed Cranker. It's insane.
What if you're new starting out and you got absolutely terrible mods? So are you leaning toward defense being the biggest stat?
No, I would. Yeah, I think survivability would be probably the best thing you could do, because he will then share that with their clones. So if they're not fast, then make them hard to kill, so that way they can stay alive. Because ultimately, the game plan with a lot of the game plan with the clones is waiting for Rex to just murder the key players when he gets to Rex late. So you would do that with speed, or in this case, survivability. I don't know that defense benefits the clones as much as health and protection would, especially since Shakti gives a lot of regen in her kit.
Yeah.
So giving them a lot of protection is really helpful, because Shakti can just bring them back up and you're like, dude, I can't deal with this. And they'll be fine enough as it is.
And they get a lot of protection back through a lot of their abilities. So I think protection is a huge part of them, because they gain it so fast and by percentage. So the more they have, the more they're going to gain back.
Exactly. The more they have, the more they gain back, because it is a percentage gain. Shakti's second or third ability, depending on how you index it, like the one where she gives percentage back, that's like 35%. And then the attacking out of turn is also a percentage base for protection regen. And so the more they have, I mean, the more they get back on just like a nominal attack. So it's a great stat to stat. It's very easy to come by too. It's on half of your circles.
Yeah.
And you can easily get a cross, an arrow, a triangle, any of those with protection primaries. Super
100%.
easy.
Yeah, protection and health are so easy to come by. And most of your events have the base health as a mod as it is, so they're so easy to get.
Yeah.
But you're literally 50% of your circles are health, 50% are protection. You can't go any other way.
And the best part about that too is the raw primary for a protection mod is no different than a 6E mod. So you don't even need to take that thing to 6 to get the benefit from that protection primary. You can just go get away with 5 dot mods and have stellar protection.
Yeah, and
it's just such an easy stat to get.
Protection barely scales at 6, going up to 6E either, so it's not even worth it.
Doesn't. No. Exactly. So if you're a new account and you're looking for something to put on 5s, just stack his protection. Give him that Zeta, and when he sacrifices, your clones are going to be real hard to kill.
And if anybody knows a Bosk, he's hell to get through on his protection. But once you get through his protection, he dies like this. I mean, protection is just it's so a thick Bosk can be just as bad with the 5s. It can be terrible, so hard to get through. And you're aiming to take him out, because if you take somebody else before him and he sacrifices, oh no, watch out.
Now think of this too. The other thing is, even on defense, it's not a bad play either. If you're trying to kill a 5s, he's going to taunt likely, but because of the Shakti leadership, he's going to have retribution. And so every time he counters, he's gaining a little bit of that protection back. Mm-hmm. So with that stacked protection on him, you really got to pump deep. You got to pump some damage into him to get him out of there, or you got to cleanse him. And it's not easy to get rid of 5 when he's stacked like that.
He's a very frustrating character too, because the Zeta, there's argument the Zeta is great, and there's argument that the Zeta sucks. And then you look at part of his kit, I'm trying to think what part of it is. Oh, so if Echo is present, 5s has plus 100% defense, which is humongous when taunting, or deals 100% more damage when not taunting. Well, which way do I go, George? Which way do I go? And then, I mean, you don't want him taunting, but you do want him taunting. It's very frustrating from a character standpoint.
It is. It's incredibly frustrating. And ultimately, the more you play with it, it's something that comes with time. You'll start to understand, like, oh, okay, I can afford a taunt here because maybe I want a little bit of a bigger hit on the Echo AoE at this point. Or you might be like, 5s this is a heavy damage team. I'm just gonna let 5s get sacrificed here because I want to supercharge my clones and just have them go insane instead.
The clones are a lot about timing, and understanding them, it can be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 5s, I thought he was a great character when you picked this one to do. I'm like, let's get him modded right first before we actually try to understand him. Maybe we can move on to that, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, honestly, 5s, the best part is, like, 5s is the center point of this team. A lot of people will be like, oh, you need a fast Rex or it doesn't work, or you need Arc Trooper to be high relic so his turret does a lot of damage. It doesn't matter. 5s is like he is the center. He is what holds this team together, whether it's his sacrifice, his tanking, his countering, his double attacks with turrets on him. Like, the team revolves around 5s. As much as people don't want to think it necessarily does, I think it really
If I was
does.
to pick a clone that I'm going to relic first, it's going to be 5s. I'm going to raise my hand.
Absolutely.
Right
Absolutely.
now. He's going to be the first one.
First one I did.
Yep.
First one I did as well. Here, put 2 more hands up.
Yeah, there we go.
There, 5, 5, 5, 5 right there.
Yeah,
Little homage to 5s right
five
there.
fives. That's right. And we got 5 5s on the screen. Well done. This is why I like this guy. Character like me. It really is. It's a good squad. It's a good character. But it can be very confusing to learn them. But that's where practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
And for the battalion, big fan of these guys, man. You know what I mean? It's one of the troopers. But
Exactly. You got your main emote is based off that. You got a nice little picture of looks like a clone sergeant, I guess, right?
somebody pointed out the other day that he's saluting with his left hand. I said, damn it, he sure is. But, at least it's, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that one. But it's still the whole point, right?
Right.
What about anything else you want to add about 5s in particular that goes with that team? Like, I wanted to point out Rex. Yes, he needs to be super fast in particular scenarios, like going against a DR, for instance, right? He doesn't always need to be that fast. I keep hearing Rex fast, Rex fast, Rex fast. He doesn't have to be the fastest character in your team every single time. I do well with Shock 2, who's faster. I don't have the mods to get Rex fast enough. I do fine.
Yeah,
I just
you don't
am
need
careful
to.
about what I bring him against. That's all.
It's exactly it. Honestly, the one of the best parts again about 5s, which I alluded to earlier, and the clone squad in general, is their versatility. Whatever you're using them for, you'll mod them differently. So if I wanted to kill like Darth Revan, for example, I would, my Rex better be getting out of the gate first. I want him to be super fast. I want him to be able to give that turn meter. I want to start taking turns, and I want to do some magic. And I also want 5s to have a lot of protection as well, because if Malik is going to try and suck him, then, it's minuscule. Like, Shock T will just give him that health right back, basically.
Yep.
However, if I was going to do something like TB, for example, I would do a more survivable build. Like, if I was doing light side GOTB, I would build them all more survivable. I would give like crit avoidance arrows on people. I would be putting defense mods on 5s, make those hits do a little bit less damage, and really just try and mitigate the onslaught of damage coming at you, because the droidicas in light side GOTB can be ruthless.
Hard, and they're way faster than real life.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. 100%.
So, yeah, you can really mod him a jack of all trades build. And even when you start getting to those weird theory crafts with like countering an SLKR, like if you wanted your 5s to be modded for that, there's a whole strategy just for killing a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Granted, you need General Anakin Skywalker and Chewie and Hermit Yoda and a whole bunch of other characters to do it, but you can mod him in that way as well. And it's incredible that there's so many different strategies for this one character.
And what about gas? Just real quick, so
Sure.
it doesn't go too long. What about gas?
What about him?
How are you going to do 5s under gas? Any different than Shock T?
Not really. Honestly, if I'm gonna, the thing I would do for gas is I would probably make 5s. I'd probably make him have a little more offense in his kit, because I'm pretty sure Gas's leadership gives either some offense or some damage to the clones, and so adding a little bit more offense makes them a little more lethal. But typically at this point, this is when you go for the speedy 5s build, because you can share that speed across, and if you're facing like a Darth Revan or something, it's likely if you go for the speedy tanky build on 5s, then they're gonna just AoE kill like your Rex first. Like, you just make one squishy clone, and then all of a sudden 5's like, okay, everybody like take my stats, and your clones will go, and by the time they're done going, the other team won't have gone. Gas will stand back up and just start annihilating everything all over again.
They're such a good team. I got a Relic 4 gas, and I've got G12, G10, and G11 clones, and I still do good work. They're just
that will probably beat a Darth Revan, fully Relic Darth Revan.
It'll do some work for. I don't have full faith in it right now, but a lower level Relic Revan, yeah, I got no problems. 100%, 100%. And it's just a really, really, really good team. Well worth it when you can get there. But keep in mind, guys. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the gas event, though. Whenever you're ready for that one, that's That's a fun part of the game.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring back nightmares, but
12 hours for me. I might have been half in the bag the whole time I did it, but it was 12 hours worth.
Wow.
And streaming at the same time.
wow.
So, yeah.
I was fortunate with like 4. I think mine only took like 3 or 4. My buddy got it on like his second try, and he's like, "It wasn't that hard." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. RNG. I could go into stories about RNG. I watched Rico get the best RNG in one turn, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But yeah, it's good stuff. What else I want to throw in there? I mean, that's about it. So, guys, I just want to point out, right? Everybody has a different way. Everybody's got an opinion on how they want to do things. But people are out there asking all the time, how do I mod my guy? How do I mod my guy? First of all, it's according to how many mods you got, what kind of mods you got. You're going to be limited. We talk about a fast Rex. How many of you got enough mods to go out there and get a Rex at 330 speed? It just isn't going to happen for most accounts unless you're super dedicated. I know I'm not. I'm a mediocre modding guy. I'd love to have better mods. I've had bad roulette rolls. I mean, it just is what it is. So this is a starting point for you guys to look at. MuddBum, thank you for taking the time. I learned
Of course.
I learned something here today, and of course, 200 kits and having to read every single character and to be reminded of, oh yeah, protection does do a lot for these guys. Holy, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
I appreciate it wholeheartedly, man. In the meantime, I will have all your information to your channel over at that special place that shall not be named. Oh, wrong one. Ah, I did the intro. I jacked it up. That one right there. That's mine. I'll show his down below, and I'll spell it funky. But that's the MuddBum. MuddBum, can I get a salute for the battalion? We thank you, brother.
Thanks for having me, Mort.
Absolutely,
Great to be
brother.
here, bud.
And if you guys have not hit that follow, make sure you guys hit that button. We are making our way out. Welcome to the battalion as soon as you hit that button. Thank you, guys. Come over and see us over there and in the Discord. It will be down below. Y'all are amazing. Peace out.
Shut up and sit down.